What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Harry Potter, the soaked-in-alcohol reread of the Harry Potter series. I'm Nate.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Shantell.
And in this episode, we're going to be getting into Chapter 9 of Chamber of Secrets, The Writings on the Wall.
But first, I have a little bit of news. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Warner Brothers Studio Tour in the UK.
I have not.
They have a whole bunch of sets and props, and it's like a little Harry Potter museum of like authentic movie memorabilia.
Stuff from the actual movie?
Yeah. Well, this year, coming up, they're going to be having a celebration of Slytherin.
I'm intrigued.
Oh.
It's going to be shining a spotlight on all things Slytherin. It's going to be from Friday, April 3rd to Sunday, September 6th.
It ends on my birthday, so I feel like that's meant to be. You're going to find me overseas.
Yeah, it's over the summer, so I mean, you have plenty of time to get to your butt over there.
I think that'd be pretty sweet.
By Portkey, Flu Network, or Broom.
I still have to get a wand. I don't have a wand yet.
For the first time ever, visitors are going to be welcomed into the Great Hall dressed to celebrate a Slytherin victory of the House Cup, complete with a grand feast and original banners from the film series suspended from the enchanted ceiling.
I can't even describe how much I want to go and be a part of that. Every time you see a scene in the movies or read about the scene in the books with the decor and everything, I die. I want to go and I want to be in that so bad. I'm going. Probably not, but I'm going.
Well, I probably can't, but you need to take pictures if you do go. Anybody who goes, we'd love to follow your adventures. Send us some pictures. We will post your stuff, give you all the props. Except the ones you're going to be seeing over there.
And be super jealous of you.
All right. Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right.
All right. Well, you got a synopsis for us this evening?
I do not.
Oh.
I'm going to make one up on the fly. We all know how that goes. Okay, so in this chapter, Harry gets accused of killing Filch's cat. Then they learn more about what the Chamber of Secrets actually is, and they get to do a little junior investigating.
So, the chapter starts, and everybody is in the corner surrounding them and the dead cat.
Filch pushes his way through all of the students to find Mrs. Norris. And this would be kind of hard to watch, I think, because even though everybody fucking hates Filch because, you know, he's a dick, you don't want to see anybody lose a pet. And this is his cat, and she's dead, and he's heartbroken. And I was like, oh, he's a big softy after all.
This is like above and beyond like a pet. This is like best friend status, I think, for him.
Well, we talked about how they may have a psychic link, so he's pretty close to this cat.
There's a connection there. That's his only companion.
And he immediately accuses Harry being the culprit, screaming at him, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
That's not typically something a teacher would say to a student. I know he's not a teacher per se. He's, you know, the janitor, but...
Which somehow makes it, like, scarier. I feel like they don't do as good at background checks on the janitor. So we know that Hogwarts doesn't do very good background checks to begin with.
I don't think Dumbledore's a paperwork kind of guy.
Apparently not.
But finally, Dumbledore arrives with a group of teachers and immediately picks up the dead cat, which, gross. You're not supposed to touch dead cats. I heard it's bad. I don't remember why that is, but I heard there's a thing.
They can carry a whole bunch of diseases?
That's probably it.
Oh, I was going to go with like a bad luck or bad omen thing, but that too, that's a good point.
Cats have lots of stuff.
Yes, they do. I'll bet McGonagall's crawling.
Ew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Think about that.
Mm.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So, Dumbledore tells Filch, Harry, Ron, and Hermione to follow him. And Lockhart immediately offers up his office to use for the meeting of sorts, I guess you'd say, saying it's just upstairs, please feel free, which, yeah, it's my fucking school. I will if I please. And also, yeah, that'd be fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
This part of the chapter got me because I just felt like he's weaseling in on trying to see these kids as punishment. It's like such a Snapey thing to do. And this guy's doing it.
I felt more of just a attention. Like, he's just the annoying person who has to take every single thing, every moment.
Always got to be in that spotlight.
Yeah. Once they get inside Lockhart's office, the paintings of himself slip out of frame so they can fix their hair and not be seen on-camera ready.
Primping.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I guess I always kind of thought that these things were pictures. So if his hair was done and made up in the picture, then it would just stay done and made up for them because it's a picture.
I feel like we had this, like, picture versus painting discussion before.
Like, okay, the picture that was taken of him and Harry earlier in the book, I don't think that Lockhart would be doing this.
No.
Because that was just an image of kind of what was happening at the time. These paintings are more like a shadow of these people's personalities. You know? They're like
an imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. That took me a minute to find that word. Oh, it's a fancy word.
So Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Filch take their seats while Gilderoy kind of moves aside so that Dumbledore and McGonagall and Snape can take a look. Lockhart says that it's obvious she was killed by a curse, and it's unlucky too because I know just the counter curse that could have saved her. Ah, so close. Bummer.
Harry at this point is feeling sorry for Filch, just like you were saying. It's hard to watch even somebody that you hate go through the loss of a pet.
Yeah, your pet's your family, man.
And then he was like, shit. But I'm like real screwed now.
Yeah, he's a little bit dickish about it. He's like, yeah, I feel bad for him. His pet just died. Actually got murdered, and I might get expelled, but so my thing's way worse than his.
Yeah. He can get a new cat. I can't get a new magic school.
Actually, when you put it that way.
Right? I understand where Harry's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
And I bet you that there's like random cats all over the castle because you know that all those cats in that castle are not spayed, so there's kittens somewhere.
Yeah, there's gotta be a owlery situation, except you open the door and it's just cats everywhere.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Norris could potentially be like a slutty cat?
Well, that explains the stiffness. Okay. Moving on.
Do you think that McGonagall hangs out with her when she's in cat form?
As I'm saying, McGonagall probably gets up to all sorts of shit when she's a cat.
I wonder if Mrs. Norris knows that Miss McGonagall is a cat when she's a cat.
I don't know.
I think maybe this could end up being a Patreon exclusive.
The Cats of Hogwarts?
Yes, the Cats of Hogwarts. I like that. Cats of the Castle.
Calendar.
Boom.
Calendar to follow.
So Dumbledore pokes Mrs. Norris with his wand, and he starts to mumble strange things. I realize now that when I wrote out that note, I wasn't thinking about the way it would sound when I read it on the microphone. That's just the level of professionalism you can come to expect from all the things Harry Potter.
And also Dumbledore.
Right. He straightens up and announces that she's not dead, after all, just petrified. So my question is being petrified a curse? Because at first, Gildy was like, oh, I can totally tell that this cat was cursed and it's dead. And if the cat was only petrified and that's not a curse, that means Gildy was wrong. Firstly, and second, the cat's not dead. So he's wrong on 2 counts. If it is a curse, then maybe he's right about it being a curse, but he still couldn't tell that the cat wasn't dead. And Dumbledore, through all of his, I was going to say wizardry, figures out that she's actually still alive in there.
Personal opinion would be that he took into account the whole scene of the situation and just went on like a hunch of, cat just didn't die of natural causes. Clearly, there's malicious intent here. And he just kind of was throwing his BS out there like he does.
I think I was inclined to think that Lockhart was just full of shit because he said, I thought so about how, and I just wanted him to be completely wrong once he said that.
I thought he said, but how? Because in some way he's actually asking the question and just hoping that somebody will say anything to give him a clue.
Yeah. Filch says, ask Harry. You saw what he wrote on the wall and he found in my office. He knows I'm a squib.
Dumbledore, he doesn't really react to squib, but he does say there's no chance Harry could have done this. Not a second year. You need dark magic. You need advanced techniques. This is not amateur shit. And it doesn't matter to Filch. He's like, I don't care. Somebody attacked my cat.
Yeah.
I want someone's head.
And Harry's still like, I don't even know what the hell a squib is. I mean, he waited a while to even speak up. He's been following all the teachers, just like, okay.
Yeah, he's just quietly accepting the fact that he's being accused of this thing. And he hasn't even tried yet to be like, hey, whoa, what the hell? This wasn't me.
Yeah.
Not even just on the way to said office. They all just walked in silence. Dude, defend yourself. If
Yeah.
it wasn't you, it wasn't you. And it wasn't him.
At the very least, to your friends, be like, can you believe this shit?
Right. If you're guilty, you kind of put your head down and go, okay, yeah, well, here it comes. But if you're not guilty, I'm not upset about this. I'm fucking mad that I'm being wrongfully accused. I would speak up.
Right.
Like a lot.
Snape is actually the one who does speak up for them and is like, they might have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. But what the hell were you guys doing in that corridor during dinner anyways?
Yeah, Snape gives him like a glimmer of hope. Like, what the shit? Is he actually being a good guy for once? And then he takes it right back away.
Right, snatches it right out.
It's a Snapey move. I do think it's slightly hilarious, yet totally can see it coming. Snape is immediately saying, well, let's kick Harry off the Quidditch team. Let's take the best player off a team so my house could win. We know your motives, Snape. We see you.
I fucking love it how McGonagall is right on that shit. She hasn't said anything yet.
You didn't even know she was in the room.
Right. She was there. It mentioned she was there, but she hasn't said boo until Snape says, well, maybe we'll kick him off the Quidditch team. And she's like, ha!
Fat chance.
Right. That's not happening.
This has nothing to do with fucking Quidditch and you know it, Snape. Shut the fuck up.
Don't you fuck with my team, you asshole. And Dumbledore kind of plays referee here and reminds them both that Harry is innocent until he's proven guilty. And Filch doesn't give a fuck about that. Like I said, he wants somebody's head and he wants it now.
Justice!
And, happy coincidence, we now have a use for the mandrakes.
Right, from just a couple of chapters ago.
She just happened to acquire them, you know, on that wonderful boat called Plot Armor.
That's right. On the backs of children.
Cultivating them at the proper time, apparently, for shenanigans that are going on.
And once they're grown enough, that's kind of scary.
So it implies that Mrs. Norris might be like this for a while.
It implies that those things are going to get bigger.
Right?
How big do they get?
I don't know. That's what, in my head, I just had an image of a full-grown naked man underneath the ground with with a plant growing out.
Just pulling
Right.
the top of his hair.
Yeah.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah, that's why it's called the mandrake. But Gildy is like, I can make this fucking potion, no problem. And Snape's like, dude,
Yeah.
this is my job. Calm down.
Snape does want the Defense Against the Dark Arts teaching position, and Gildy's got it now, so Snape is probably not a big fucking fan.
No, I think that's part of why he gets so, like, defensive immediately when Gildy's like, I can make the potion. He's like, bullshit, you can.
Not in my fucking school, you can't.
I feel like it would have been super hilarious to actually be Harry or Ron or Hermione sitting there listening to these teachers bicker with each other about who's making what potion and who's kicking who off of what Quidditch team. And all of a sudden it went from, we're going to punish you children for something you may or may not have done, to now the teachers are having their own little argument.
And it does say there's an awkward silence before Dumbledore, like, excuses them. So they were definitely feeling that vibe, like,
Right.
uh-oh, the adults are fighting. What do we do now?
Yeah, and I think that's what gets them out of the room without anybody else further questioning them. So, thanks